Microphone number 7.
Amy Harmon, personal member. I wrote down, and I have been twittering about my actions. Younger members are really very active in leadership roles, and I'm wondering how, what action items do you have to not only attract younger members within the American Library Association, or to add or foster leadership among younger members, such as like Leslie Berger's initiative of the emerging leaders, which is really awesome, by the way. Thank you.
Roberta.
Well, I'll mention just a few that I can think of right away. It's really been a concern that we have members involved in meaningful ways. And so one thing that I've heard a lot about is again, you can be, are you talking about at meetings exclusively? Just across the organization, good. All right, well, there are ways to do that, and of course, there's been a lot of interest in the online access we've had to programs, the webinars, etc. And that is a great way to get young people involved, but anybody involved, quite honestly. The other thing is, in addition to emerging leaders, which really should continue, it's an important initiative, I would advocate that we really try to expand internships in committees and groups. I know people groan when they hear that message, but let me tell you, I started as an intern on the Committee on Legislation, and it grew to be a passion of mine. So, you know, it's a great way, being an intern, to sprinkle yourself across various areas and find what it is that you really are interested in doing, what really gets you jazzed up about the American Library Association. So that is another way to get people involved. I would like to, if I were elected president, to convene groups, work along with new members roundtable, and find out how do they see getting younger and newer people involved in the association. What is the most productive way to do it? And then, of course, we have online access and online discussion groups. They're coming forth. ALA Connect will be up and running in, I don't know, 6 months, 8 months, whatever the timetable is. And that's going to be a fabulous way to get people involved, because they can set up communities of interest.
Thank you. Kent?
Well, Roberta ended with something that I was going to mention. The communities of interest that's currently up on the PLA section of the website is fascinating, and it's a way of really attracting people to get involved. One of the things that struck me actually out in Anaheim was just the whole idea of how many young members we did have. And it seemed like there have been times when I've been at conferences and it seemed like everybody was over 40. Well, when I was looking around Anaheim, I felt old. I felt like everybody was under 40. But as far as specifics, I think when I look at what we need to do, I'd like to see us expand involvement in our leadership, specifically in more diverse areas. I think the spectrum models that we have going could be used at certain levels to the rest of the association. The electronic participation, certainly, as we mentioned. I think that we need to get the word out about ALA into library schools more effectively than we do. We've been trying to do that with intellectual freedom issues for a number of years, and we're starting to see some returns on that. And that's where you build the early leaders. I agree with the internships. I think those would be great. I think internships, again, in the area of diversity would be very effective. But I think just having our leaders be aware that we need to engage younger members. One of the things that I tried to do when I was chairing IMC is that we always have young members on IMC, but you can't just let them sit there and not involve them in the business of the committee. You need to engage them and give them responsibility. And as a leader, I seek to reach out and give more younger members responsibility.